Hello! Welcome to day 2 of my Christmas Friends class to go. Until September 15th, between September 1st and September 15th, I am featuring the Christmas Friends bundle for my class to go, for one of my classes to go this month. There are 3 ways to earn my class to go. Way number 1 is to place an order of $50 in my online store using the host code, and you'll find that host code in the video description, or it's on my blog. Number 2 is to place an order of $100 in my online store, and you're going to get the class kit for the class to go. You're also going to receive 5 bonus cards from my basket. The cards may not feature the Christmas Friends stamp set specifically, but you'll get some good inspiration for any of your other projects. And the third way to get the class to go is to place a $150 order in my online store. You're going to get the class kit, you're going to get the 5 free cards, and you're also going to get a full package of embellishments. And this class to go will feature the Shimmer gems for the embellishments. So you'll get a full package of those, and they are gorgeous. So $150 or more. Don't use that host code because you're going to receive the Stampin' Rewards, and you'll get that full package of the In Color Shimmer gems in your kit. So you will need the stamp set and dies. I will not do any of the stamping or the die cutting with this specific bundle. So if something needs to be die cut with the bundle, you are going to need the dies as well as the stamp set. So make sure that you, if you don't already have this, make sure you add this to your order when you're placing that order in my online store. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Yesterday we made this card. This was card number 1. In our class to go, we used that adorable little moose for card number 1. Today we are making this one. We are using the little owl. So we're changing up the colors a little bit. We're adding some fun little designs here. We're using that same plaid embossing folder back there, which is so fun, so pretty, and that will come embossed in your kit. But it's such a good embossing folder, you'll probably want to pick that up as well. So this is a card we're going to make today, so let's go ahead and jump into it. So you're going to receive all of your supplies in your kit. I do want to tell you that you're going to receive a 2 half sheets of basic white cardstock. So you're going to get basically a full sheet of basic white cardstock, but it's going to be cut in half to make it easier for you to run through your cut and emboss machine and for stamping. So you'll need to stamp the little owl on there, which I have already stamped in advance just to kind of save time, stamped and die cut in advance just to save time. And then you are going to need to die cut 2 circles. Okay, so 2 white circles from that die. You'll need that big die. There's also quite a bit more in die cutting that you'll have to do, and you will receive pieces of cardstock for all of that, so we'll just go over it real quick. So in Shy Shamrock, you're going to cut the little branches, and let me get those dies out. There's 2 different branches. There's 2 different sizes. You can cut them both the same size, or you can do one of each, and that's in Shy Shamrock. And then you'll need a little pretty and pink bow, which has been die cut. Like that. So we're just going to set all these pieces aside, and then there's cute little gift bows or gift boxes here, and then there's bows and wrapping. So you're gonna need those, and you will receive all the pieces for this. So there's pretty and pink, and then I gave you some glimmer paper to die cut the actual bows. And when I die cut those bows, I actually put adhesive sheets on the back of them just to make them a little bit easier to adhere when we get to that point. But you're going to receive all of those pieces in your card kit, but you will need to do all that embossing. Or all that die cutting. I won't do the die cutting if it's part of the dies. Okay? All right, and then you'll receive all the other pieces, which we'll get to in just a second. So I'm going to put those aside. We'll put all of our little die cut pieces aside. And let's start with our coloring of our little owl here. So I'm going to zoom in so we can color him a little bit better, so we can see him a little better. All right, I am using 3 different colors of Stampin' Blends for him. I am using Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, and Crumb Cake. And I also have my color lifter here. And this is kind of like your magic tool. You want to make sure you have a color lifter. That's really what's going to blend him all together. So I'm actually going to start with the Peach Pie. It's the one we're going to use the littlest of, or the least of, so I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to use my dark Peach Pie for his beak and his feet. I'm not doing any blending with the Peach Pie, so I'm really only using the dark. Now, if you were coloring these a different way, if you weren't using Stampin' Blends, maybe you're watercoloring them, you may need to provide your own cardstock for that. Basic White is great for Stampin' Blends, but it's not great for watercoloring. So if you're using watercolor pencils or something, you may need to provide your own paper for that, but these would be adorable watercolors. All right, we're going to use Petunia Pop for his little hat. So I'm going to do my dark first. And where the artist has given us these little lines, that's where I'm going to add my dark. Just kind of along the top of his hat, the little brim. And then there's some more lines over here, back here, and then along the back of his hat down here. I thought Petunia Pop was a fun little twist on a traditional Santa hat. And because we're going with these bright, fun in colors anyway, I thought it was perfect. All right, so I'm going to do the light next, and we'll just blend out that dark. Just go over those dark areas and blend that out. And we'll have that beautiful shading. If you want it to be a little bit more pronounced with the dark, you can go back in, add a little bit more dark. And it should be wet enough. If you do this right away, it should be wet enough that it should just kind of naturally blend. But if it's not blending naturally, just go ahead and go back with your light Petunia Pop and blend that out. So there's our little hat. He's already coming to life and so adorable. All right, for our crumb cake, I'm actually going to start with my dark crumb cake. Yesterday with our mousse, we started with the light and we just gave him a full wash of color. And that was to build up color. But for our little owl, we don't want to build up too much color. So I'm actually just going to add my dark in just a few little spots, kind of on the back of him where his wings are kind of going around him, along the kind of the back of his tail there. And then just a tiny bit under the hat here, just where it would be like a darker shadow. And that's it for my dark. And then I'm going to come in with my light. And I'm just going to kind of blend those out a little bit, but I'm not going to color the whole owl. I'm going to kind of, wherever the artist has left these little lines, I'm going to make sure to add my light there and make sure to blend out that dark. And just add some little lines there. I'm going to color the back of his tail, but not all the way to the tip. And then do the same on this side, blend out those dark, and then just kind of add color into the middle where his little feathers are. Anywhere that the artist has left a little line, that is where I am just adding that color. Just blending out kind of under his hat, going around his cheeks there, and just around his face just a little bit. I wanted to give him the illusion that he's white, but he's got a little bit of shading to him too. Now I'm going to take the brush tip of my color lifter, and I'm just going to kind of go over his whole like belly area and just smooth out those lines. Do the tail, do the little face. So basically we're just kind of smoothing out any lines, any of the harsh lines from the light crumb cake. You're not going to go over him too much because you don't want to start to lift up that color. You just want to kind of blend that color. And that's it. That's our little owl all colored. Isn't he adorable? Now if you wanted to add a little bit more color, it looks like I went a tiny bit darker on my sample here. If you wanted to add a little bit more, you can go in with that crumb cake again and just keep adding color, layering it up until you're happy with it. But I kind of like the little soft look to him. All right, let's zoom back out a little bit. We're going to do our greening. So you're going to have a piece of Petunia Pop here, and it is going to be angle cut. So the way I did this was I took a piece of Petunia Pop cardstock, which was 4 by 5 1/4, and I cut it diagonally. I marked it up at 3.5 inches on the left side, and I made a mark. And then from the bottom, I marked it at, I think it was 1 inch from the top up here. Make sure this is 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 on the left, 1 inch down here, and I just made a mark here and a mark here, and then I just cut it diagonally. And that's how you're going to get that diagonal piece. Now you can cut it diagonally, and you don't have to do the measuring. You can just kind of eyeball it, cut it diagonally. Your piece will come cut diagonally like this, but if you're recreating this and you don't want to do the measuring, you can just eyeball it and cut it diagonally. That works too. And we're going to do the greeting. I will be thinking of you this season. Just going to stamp that on the bottom. We're doing Petunia Pop ink on Petunia Pop cardstock. All right, and we're going to close that up, and this is ready to adhere to our card. So let's get our card pieces kind of put together. Just kind of get these all out of the way. So I'm going to adhere this piece to my embossed Pretty in Pink piece. Like I said, this is embossed with that plaid embossing folder in the mini catalog, and we're just going to adhere this directly to the bottom. This Pretty in Pink piece is 4 by 5 1/4. Just like that. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to take a line of my liquid adhesive, that my Tombow multi-purpose glue, and I'm going to do this. This is, we're going to adhere a strip of glimmer paper, which is only 1/4 of an inch. So it's a little bit harder to use the tape runner on this. So I'm just going to do a little bit of a line of adhesive there, and then we can just put that on there. I'm going to give that a couple seconds to dry, and I'm going to flip this over and just trim off the back, trim off these extra little pieces here. Perfect. And that gives us that beautiful like diagonal line, and it's nice and glimmery, so pretty. All right, now let's get this onto our card base. Our card base is a standard 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is going to go on the front of our card, just centered on the front. I'm going to use my bone folder and just give this a good burnish. All right, so there is our card coming together. Isn't this so pretty already? So pretty. All right, let's build up our little owl scene. So we have one of our white circles, and I'm going to take another one, and I'm just going to kind of maybe eyeball a little less than half, and I'm just going to tear it. And I love doing this for snowy scenes because I love the kind of the torn edge there. It just kind of looks like little snow drifts. And we're going to adhere that down with dimensionals. You can save this piece. I think, I'm trying to look at my other cards, I think we might be using this on card number 3. So don't get rid of this piece. We're going to save that one. I'm not positive. Where'd my dimensionals go? I've lost them. But I think that you can definitely use that for card number 3. We'll be doing kind of a similar thing for card 3, but I don't remember if I had you cut a separate circle or if we're just going to use that extra piece. Go ahead and save it. All right, and we're going to adhere this down. These are die cut with the same circle die, so they're going to line up perfectly. And so we have this little snowdrift here. Now, if you wanted to add extra to this little snowdrift, you can go over it with Wink of Stella, or if you have little puffy snow paint, you could do that. But in person, the dimension is already going to be there. All right, we're going to adhere our owl on. I'm only going to put a dimensional on his head, behind his head. Then I'm going to put some adhesive just behind his feet, just so he sits nice and flat, and he's going to go kind of on the right side of our circle, just like that. All right, I'm going to grab some liquid glue for our little leaves here, and I'm only going to put adhesive in the middle because I want the edges of my leaves to kind of pop up. So I'm going to put those down just right on the top. And I'm going to layer up 2. Now I cut 2 of the larger one, 2 of the same size, but there are 2 sizes of leaves in there. So if you wanted to do 2 different sizes, you could. Now once this is dry, I'm going to go in and kind of fluff up my leaves a little bit just to give it some extra dimension. And I'm going to do a little dot of glue here for our little pretty and pink bow, which will go on the top of our little bows, just like that. So cute, he's coming together. All right, let's work on our little gifts. Let's put this aside, we'll work on our gifts. So I'm doing Petunia Pop glimmer paper on my pretty and pink box, and then pretty and pink glimmer paper on my Petunia Pop box. Now, like I said, I die cut mine with adhesive sheets. So you'll need to add your adhesive sheet before you die cut the little bows. So if you have adhesive sheets, put them on your glimmer paper before you die cut your bows, and then it just makes them like stickers. You can just peel and stick. It's beautiful. And the little backings off of this. The only key to the adhesive sheets is that you have to remember to do it before you die cut. All right, so there's our little pretty and pink box all ready to go. And after I get my adhesive sheets on there, I do like to go over it with my bone folder. Just make sure everything is adhered really, really nicely. And that's gonna go on our little card there. And let's put our other gift box together. So pull that off and stick this down. I love when the dies include fun little builder things like this that really help enhance the bundle or the stamp set. And these little gift boxes and bows you're going to be able to use for so many projects, not just with these cute little Christmas Friends bundles. So this is a great one to have. Peel those off, and we're going to stick our bow onto this one, and I'm going to give that a nice little press with my bone folder. All right, now we're going to stick these on with some dimensionals. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the bird and just, or the owl, and just put a dimensional on the top of this long, pretty, and pink one. And I'm going to put just some regular adhesive on the bottom of that one. And that one will go down just like that. And then this one will just go on with a dimensional. Just like that. And right up front. Just like that. So cute, right? All right, let's get this onto our card base. I'm going to just use, we already have a lot of dimensionals built up on this little circle here. So I'm just going to use some regular adhesive, and we're going to stick this on. I want my owl to be kind of straight. I'm not too worried about my presents being straight, but I kind of want my owl to be mostly straight. So we're going to stick that on. And final finishing touches, we are going to use our glimmer gems. And I'm going to use my Petunia Pop ones. And we're just going to add 3 of these. So 1, 2, and 3. 1 up here. Perfect. So those are our little shimmer gems. This is card number 2 of my Christmas Friends class to go. We made card number 1, we have card number 2, and tomorrow we will do card number 3. So thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you tune back in for card number 2. Remember, if you want to earn this class to go for free, all you need to do is place an order of at least $50 in my online store, and there are additional benefits for orders of $100 and $150 in my online store. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will see you guys tomorrow for card number 3. See you then. Bye.